Welcome back, everyone, to the Ashes here on Cricket 22. I'm your host, Twisty3, and we are here for day 3 between Australia and England. It's still the English in a dominant position, as at the end of day 2 we saw Steve Smith and David Warner starting to build a partnership up for the Australians. They're currently 2 for 202, just bringing up the 200 there, but still a further 236 runs behind the English as they look to make some inroads on this score here today. That's a glorious on drive by Steve Smith, and that'll find the boundary. The score up to 2 for 222. Just an iconic moment. Have a look at this shot too. Wood just bowls. Smith gets across the line of the ball, able to have a beautiful on drive, and this time he's nicked it, and he's going to be out, trying to cut that ball away through the offside. Ollie Robinson picks up the wicket. Butler was getting across, but in the end it was a nice take there from Rory Burns. Moving across to his left, it went nice and high and quick. Well, just hold up a fraction. Steve Smith out for 66. Travis Head makes his way out to the middle, and that is a boundary to begin his innings. Warner gets this away. Couple more on offer here for the Australian opener as he pushes towards hopefully 100 for his sake. Onto 89. Moving towards the 90s. And that is a big shot. Pulled away successfully behind square. That'll be 4. And out! Travis Head trying to drive through Jack Leach there. Unable to get full face of the bat onto it. Australia 4 for 253. Cameron Green coming to the middle. Plenty of work for the Aussies to do here. All of a sudden, a couple of quick wickets. The loss of Steve Smith and Travis Head as the Aussies really under the pump. Still, they're trailing by 178 at this point. It's still a lot of runs to be able to not only get back in the game, but then to give themselves an opportunity to win the test. Will they be able to restrict their first innings lead of England? There's a nice quick single here by David Warner. He's on 99, and he's going to go all the way to the 100. Lovely stuff from David Warner. It just crept up on us, didn't it? 15 fours. This bloke's in the way. England are going to take the new ball, but David Warner bringing up his 100 for Australia just before that new rock is in place. 4 for 285. And what a hot innings it has been from him. From 225 balls, so he's been very, very patient in the way he's played. Likewise, Cam Green, 12 from 42. Oh, not a quick single there. Don't take that one on. Wokes has a couple of wickets for England. Robinson and Leach one apiece as we end the morning session here. Australia 4 for 286, losing Steve Smith and Travis Head in that session, while David Warner went on to get his ton. Cameron Green, 12 not out at the other end. Australia still 162 behind, with plenty of time left in today's play, as we are hoping to get a result in this test match. But obviously if Australia bat towards the end of today, we might be struggling to end up getting that result. Could be a bit of a draw if it's just a road like this pitch looks like it is at the moment. 4 for 290 Australia. Oh, that's chipped in the air. And what a catch by Wokes. That's the end of Cam Green. Almost looked like it held up in the pitch a fraction. And Cam Green just spoons it back. Wokes able to get his balance, dive to the right, and take a nice catch. Cam Green out for 15. Australia 5 for 290. Alex Carey making his test debut. Coming to the middle. Still 158 behind. So lots of work for Carey, and then the tail to do. Warner obviously playing a pivotal role in this as well, as Carey gets off the mark with a boundary to the offside. Oh, nicked and taken. So another wicket. This time it's Ben Stokes who gets Alex Carey. Just full and wide, and He's really flashed at it, hoping to find the boundary. It's got the top of the bat, and Milan, an unbelievable catch, diving to his left. Australia 6 for 306. In a little bit of trouble now, as they still trail by 138 at the moment. So Warner and the tail. Plenty of work to do. That's a lovely shot from David Warner through the covers. That's a boundary. He's continuing to push on today. And there's a top edge from Pat Cummins. Bit of luck for the Aussie quick. Not this time. It's edged and taken. Pat Cummins trying to drive, and we've seen today the English, they've pitched it up. The Aussies have gone for their drives and caught the edge on a number of occasions now. That's the end of Pat Cummins for 6, Australia 7 for 334. Still 114 runs behind. So much work still to be done for the Aussies to keep themselves in the game. Mitch Stark hammering that home to the boundary. And Warner goes big. Maybe this is a sign of intent. If Warner doesn't think he can get the runs with the tail, he'll just see how many he can get as quickly as he can. Mitch Stark nicks that one, and there's another wicket. I think it was Burns in the slips. Just sort of fending at it to defend. Robinson gets another one. I think that's 3 for him. Mitchell Stark will be on his way. Just a little edge. And a nice take again from Rory Burns. Australia 8 for 363. Still a further 83 runs behind. As we see Warner really taking the game on now. I think he is just going to see how quickly he can get these runs. Knowing that the Aussies do have the tail in. So you can see the field back now for David Warner as he brings up the 150. Oh, there'll be some overthrows there. And oh dear, what is that fielder doing? He's just stood there and watched the ball go past. David Warner brings up the 150, 22 boundaries. And the 1-6 as well, makes that 23 boundaries. But the English, they've pushed the field back for Warner here, and he's still found the gap. They're doing their best to get Lyon on strike, and on this occasion, they've got him nicking off. So this time, it's Wood who gets the wicket. Taken caught behind, Australia 9 for 389. Warner goes big in the deep. Not going to get to the fielder. One bounce and a single in the end. This time over mid-wicket. That'll be 4. The 400 up for Australia. The lead of England now below 50. Warner's got it down to 46. Have a look at this shot by the Rover. You can see that big shot over mid-wicket. Hazelwood does well to leave that through to the keeper. And that will actually take us through the tea break. So Australia losing a plethora of wickets in that session, 5 to be exact, as they piled on a few runs as well. Warner's 175 there at the top of the order, still not out, doing his very best to lower this first innings lead of England. And when he comes back for the next session, he smashed that down the ground for 4. How many more runs can he pile on? The lead just 33 now. This should be taken. Oh, it's been put down. Oh dear, that's Jack Leach. Square leg. Can't take Warner. Now he goes over the offside. Closing in on a double 100, David Warner. Lead 26. Hazelwood going for a big swing. Ineffective. Now leading edge is taken. So Australia all out for 422. England will take a 26-run lead into the second session, second innings. Dave Warner, 180-odd not out. A very good effort from him. 187 from 334. Australia's 422. Have a look at this, by the way, everyone. 60 buys. 60 free runs off the England bowling. That is pathetic from their point of view. Wokes with 3, Leach, Wood and Robinson a couple each. As England will come out for a couple of overs here towards the end of the day's play. They've got a 26-run lead. Can Australia take some early wickets? And Burns off the mark with a single. Hazelwood with a nice throw back to Alex Carey. No run out there. And again, another single. So just a couple of runs coming from the first over of Mitchell Starc. Not sure how many overs we'll get in tonight. I think it might be 8 or 9. Nothing too fancy. Not a huge total of overs. As England will look to get through this session unscathed. There's Hamid finding the boundary. They've left that mid-off gap open, Australia, in the hopes that we'll get England driving. They have on that occasion. So far yet to find the outside edge of the bat. It's been quite a difficult pitch, I think, for the bowlers, as there has been quite a lot of bounce. They've really had to pitch it up in order to get the batsman to play. Really target the stumps. There's a drive that's an inside edge. And that'll be 4 for Hamid. So Australia finding the edge for the first time, but not going to hand. As that lead of England's is increased back above the 50-run mark. Oh, it's pretty close from Hazelwood. And Rory Burns is walking before the umpires even put the finger up. He knew it was out. It's crashed into his back pad. He's standing right in front of middle and leg. And that's going to be crushing into leg stump every day of the week. Josh Hazelwood gets the first for Australia. Burns gives Alex Carey a bit of a check on the shoulder on the way through. So Australia get their first. England 1 for 32. Dawid Malan out in the middle. Oh, well driven. Just almost a block. And it goes down the ground for 4. Oh, a lovely shot that through the offside. That'll be another boundary for Malan. Pat Cummins been expensive early. Oh, how was that missed? The stumps. Big shout. I think it was going down the leg side. A little deflection. Not working out for the Australians, but targeting the stumps a bit more in this innings. And that's away. That's going to be another single. 1 for 57. Oh, got him. And I've hit the mic. Cummins gets the wicket. Round the wicket to Malan. He's off peg out of the ground. And again, pitching it up and targeting the stumps. Australia, 2 for 59. Seems to be the most effective. The captain, Joe Root, to the middle. Pat Cummins. We know what he can do. Captain to captain. And Root's the one who wins this battle. He's off the mark through the offside. It'll be through the covers for a couple of runs. Picks up 3. End of the 15th over. And again, driving through the offside very effectively. This time finds the boundary. Look at that. Lovely shot. Nathan Lyon into the attack for Australia, and he's got the wicket of the captain. Straight away, he's got Joe Root. Just threw the shot early. It hits the bails off the stumps. Nothing more, really. Little bit of turn. Didn't turn as much as Joe was expecting. That's a costly wicket for England before stumps. The captain departs, 3 for 79. That lead still, though, 105. Ben Stokes and Hamid. Work to do. That's pretty close as well. They're up the Aussies. Jeez, it was a massive appeal. And Cummins says we're going to send this one upstairs. Have a look at this from Mitch Starc. Hits him quite deep in the crease on the back pad. Height may be the only issue, but it looks Very similar to the Hazelwood dismissal earlier. Pitching in line. Impact in line. Wickets. Oh, it's missing. How much? Geez, a couple of centimetres maybe. Unlucky for Mitchell Starc. Unable to get the wicket he desired as we're into the final over of the day. Nathan Lyon, can he find a prized wicket late? Ben Stokes keeping him out early so far. Happy to leave that one through as we come to the final ball of the day's play. And it's pulled away to Mitch Starc. Shot, almost at the stumps. It's going to go for 4 overthrows. Bit strange. Bit of a strange way to end the day. As we see Ben Stokes coming from the field, as well as Haseeb Hameed for England on 28 and 22 not out respectively. England leading it by 131 runs at the moment. Lyon, Hazelwood and Starc, the wicket takers for Australia in this third innings. And geez, what a fourth day of play we have coming up. Very evenly poised game. England with a lead of 131, 7 wickets in hand in order to set this total for Australia. How well can they do it?